Hey, and welcome to Minding Your Business on News Talk 1380, the Antelope Valley and North LA County source for your news now. I'm Chris Spiker, Antelope Valley florist. This is a program of the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce. Kenneth Guzman, thank you for being the engineer today.
Woohoo!
My co-host, Aaron Goldstein. Aaron, who's our first guest today?
Our first guests are Lisa and Paul Kinnison.
Aerotech News and Review. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Important part of the Valley, big supporters of the Chamber of Commerce.
And we've been here. It is now officially feeling like forever. We are marking our 30th anniversary this month.
Happy anniversary. Let's
Thank
get some
you.
flowers.
Yeah, let's do that. Absolutely. I want the U-Haul.
You guys must have started, Paul, when you were really young.
I did. It's always been one of the things that's been in my blood, doing newspapers. Started out when I was 11, became circulation manager at 16, and by the time I was, 22, 23, we started the paper.
Yeah.
You started the paper, but you have several papers.
Right. We now have 7 that we publish.
We do military and aerospace publications, not only here in Southern California, but also in Arizona and Nevada. And in addition to our home paper here at Edwards Air Force Base, we also do Nellis Air Force Base out there in Las Vegas. We also have Luke Air Force Base in Phoenix, Davis-Monthan Air Force Base down there in Tucson. Yeah, as well as several other papers here in California. So
Does that require
busy.
some travel?
Just a bit.
A little bit.
Lots of hotel trade. You try and find hotels to trade advertising with you so that, hopefully nice hotels. But
How did you get involved with the military papers?
Well, I had originally been working for another paper here in town, and I started talking to people about doing a section for aerospace. And at the time, that publication, which isn't around anymore, said, oh no, it's not that big a deal.
Not that big of a
Right.
deal.
yeah.
So I did my homework and went around and talked to a lot of people, and we came out with our first issue.
Yeah. What really the detail of it, he was working for another paper, and he actually helped that paper to get the contract to publish the Desert Wings, the base newspaper out of Edwards. And when he was going around trying to sell advertising for that paper, people would ask him, does it deliver on the Plant 42? And it did not, because the base wanted their distribution exclusively on the base. But it's like when people keep asking you about that market and you have a brain and you're in the business.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've always thought your operation was amazing.
Honestly, it's, you look, we don't claim to be great in history, but it's like, how the Lord puts people in certain places at certain times for certain purposes. There's no reason for this to have happened to us or for this business to have happened the way it did. We each have a little bit of college education, but not a great deal. We've come to manage a very large company, but it's just been learning on the job as we go. But it's just we've been in the right place at the right time, and things have just unfolded. And for us, we really have to thank the man upstairs, because there's no other way this could come about.
Yeah, and we've had some really great people that have been with us throughout the years.
Yeah,
Some of our people have been with us over 20 years already.
yeah. And we're really fortunate that, our staff, we really do, we love these people. We enjoy going to work with them every day. It's a real privilege to work with the people that we do.
So you have reporters, you have photographers,
Right.
you write editorials. It's a newspaper,
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
but it's not. The ones that are on bases, I guess they have a center, but it's not like you're in one city or the other. You're in a region.
Right. Aerotech itself is more regional, Southern California, but we also cover news from around the world. And then we also have these base papers in all these communities, which are more specific to those bases. But now, as things have evolved with social media and the website, even those papers are starting to carry a lot more regional and national type news.
And with the social media, we now have the advantage that when we get stories running in different papers, if we see something on a social media website that really sparks interest, we cross-post it to our other sites. And, for example, we have one site, it's our Army paper out in Fort Irwin, but they love to hear what's going on in other branches of the service.
Really?
So we cross-post, from the Air Force and just kind of tell them what's going on.
So their newspaper is getting fatter and fatter, thicker and thicker. And
Well,
you have an online presence? The
we
papers
do.
are online?
Yes, we have our website, and then we have Facebook pages for each of the newspapers. Our social media presence, we really only started concentrating on about 6 months ago, but our traffic has more than, it's even way more than doubled. It's possibly
Oh, yeah,
tripled in
triple.
that period of time, and
We have roughly about 10,000 followers between all of our sites.
yeah, and that's with very minimal promotion, really, so that's
Wow.
kind of part of our plan this year is
Yeah.
to,
That
get
kind of
that.
happened in spite of all
It
of us.
did.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. So,
Just the way the economy has progressed, it's forced us to really look at new avenues of getting the news out there. And one of the most exciting things right now is we now publish a digital edition of the paper, putting that on the Facebook pages. And that's just been phenomenal, the response to it.
Gee, all of a sudden people around the world can read your paper today.
Exactly.
Right now.
Yep.
That's wonderful. Are we still going to be in the future, are we going to be publishing a paper made out of newspaper?
it's kind of interesting, and we were discussing this last week. All media has an electronic presence now. When you look at television and radio and print, everyone has kind of like their home product umbrella, but they always refer people to the electronic. Print, it is true, has become more challenged, but there is very definitely still a place for that print product. So, and especially when you're publishing to a specialty market, as we do,
Right.
I think the print product is always going to be around in some form, but it's so inexpensive to make it available in an online format and expand your readership that way, that I think that's what's going to keep print viable as kind of a parent product when you talk about type of media.
There must be advertisers that say, I want to be in every paper you put out.
Yes,
All of them,
Mhm.
everywhere. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it
it
is.
is. We do well with, along those lines, recruitment advertising. You get the Northrops and the Lockheeds.
Right.
And
Aerospace jobs, military
Right.
jobs.
they will spend a fortune to find that one right candidate. And being that ours is such a specialized market in readership, they don't have to spend a large amount to get a pool of applicants, as opposed to general media where they get, anybody and everybody.
30 years successful.
Yes.
So, okay, what's the secret?
Patience.
Never give up.
Yes,
Right?
yeah, persistence above all things. Yeah, never go up. If you're going through hell, keep going, because you always come out the other end.
You guys are hard workers too, I've noticed.
Yeah,
I've
I know
noticed.
you've noticed. I think the last AV Board of Trade event I went to, and Paul couldn't make it because he was on the road, and you said, Paul is the hardest working man I know. And, I've heard that from more than one person. He's, yeah.
I have to tell a little thing on you.
Uh-oh.
I rent a truck every once in a while, a van from Enterprise,
Ah,
and they go, aerospace. Aerotech News has it. I go, man,
we always have it.
doesn't he have his
Sorry.
route done yet?
Nope.
This is in the afternoon. He's like
Nope.
still delivering papers.
Nope, we never stop. We never stop.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
between all the vehicles, the rentals, and our vehicles, we probably put on a little over 10 to 12,000 miles per month.
Just like the military presence, you run a big business here. It helps the valley. We got about a minute and a half. How would people find you? How would they contact you with news items, or they need somebody to help fill a job, or they want to put an ad?
Well, they can first of all give us a call at Aerotech News. It's 661-945-5634, or they can contact us through our website, which is aerotechnews.com, or through Facebook.
And if you go onto Facebook and if you just type in Aerotech News, you'll come up to our page. Pinned to the top of the page, you'll see our digital edition right there.
Oh, wow.
There's a link to it right there. The pages flip. You can read the whole paper. And don't forget the LA County Air Show is coming up
That's
in
right.
March.
Thank you.
And we are going to be publishing the official guide for the LA County Air Show. So you want to make sure and contact us so you can get your advertising at that. There's going to be like 200,000 people
I'll
at the
mention
air
that
show.
again in our current events. I'll mention the air show and the fact that Aerotech News is putting the souvenir program together.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, don't want to miss it.
Well, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Happy 30 years of publishing a beautiful newspaper, a whole
Amazing.
family of newspapers.
Thank you.
And
Thank
you're
you.
very involved in the community, and the Chamber of Commerce really appreciates you.
Thank you. We appreciate you too.
Paul and Lisa Kinnison, Aerotech News and Review.